Hey everybody, welcome to the, I believe, third part of this? It might be the third or the second. Might be the third, I'm hoping. I had to make another one of these because the one I had from the first video got destroyed. And, well, everybody already saw the Blue Ranger one, and now they already know we're on this. Next step of this will be fiberglassing and resining this. Since I won't be using fiberglass for this particular one, I thought I'd film the resin stage that everyone would like to get to know. Pretty much you use resin on the outside to help stiffen it up as you put fiberglass on the inside with resin. Fiberglass will weigh this down. As long as it soaks into the paper, you're good. That's why I use cardstock, because if you try to do it with regular paper, it's going to soak directly through real quick and crumble it up. So when it cures, it looks like a mess. As for cardstock, it can handle the resin enough to finish your projects. Now this one is the Casey Jones mask. I noticed the file that I posted is no longer available, so I'm going to see what I can do about that to remedy the situation and post another file for those who are actually following along. I only have 10 followers and I don't blame you. I haven't been posting as much and I need to get back to that. Now for this one, I just use some regular stuff. Wax paper helps because whatever you're covering, wax paper, it'll protect the area and you can pick it up. You can also use foil or just a table you don't mind messing up. Right here, I have what's left of the resin. If you want to start with it, go with this kit. It comes with resin, fiberglass, and a little mixing tray. Scale not included. That's for others. Pretty much, you measure out how much resin you're going to use. That lets you know how much catalyst to use. For this, I believe it states here how many drops you use. Blah, blah, blah. That's just sanding. It says for 1 ounce of resin, add 10 drops. I think I can clear that up. There we go. Yeah, right there. For 1 ounce of resin, add 10 drops. Or 6 tablespoons of resin with 1/4 teaspoon hardener. Yeah, I don't have spoons. So I have this scale. This already measured at 3.3, not counting the cup. So I'm going to use 30 drops of catalyst. You always want to wear gloves, respirator. I'm wearing a respirator, but I'm wearing the smaller one because the bigger one I would not be able to talk and film. This one works as well. I got these little rubber gloves that I've used for most of my projects. They're pretty cheap. You can grab them anywhere. Wax paper is cheap. Literally, outside of the resin, you can grab almost everything at a dollar store. The wax paper, the gloves. The only things you might have to go to another store for is cardstock, the resin. Bondo isn't the only one that makes resin. You can use casting resin. Well, the 2-part clear, crystal clear casting resin you can use. Or you can use the one that dries opaque. Maybe. I haven't tried it with that. Because, well, casting resin, the longer it sits in the cup mixed, it heats up and it'll cure. This, you could stir it up and you print it over. It's used for boats. I'm not that good at tutorials, but I will be in the future, hopefully. So we're going to go over this mask with the resin and let this cure according to the box for those who need to go with everything that the box says. It takes about 2 hours to dry at 75 degrees. It's a little colder out here than 75 degrees. So I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 hours to fully cure. You'll know it's fully cured when you can touch it and it's not tacky. And you can literally just slide your finger across and nothing comes off. And it'll be a little stiffer than it was, giggity, when you start it. Also, for those who have problems with their pep, where, like say here, where the paper, where you may have missed a tab and you want to make sure that this is filled, you would tape one end of it or tape it together behind it and then res over it. But you would tape over this end, fill it with a little line of hot glue, wait till it dries, then remove the tape, and you got yourself a filled in section that you don't have resin seeping through. So if you need to fix that, you fix that in this stage before you mix a catalyst. You make sure you wear a respirator, have plenty of mixing stuff, and also for those in the future who don't want to buy chip brushes, you buy a silicone brush. This is used for barbecuing. Don't worry, this is not used during my barbecues at my house. This one is set aside for personal use. Silicone brushes are easier to come across. If you don't feel like buying chip brushes over and over, even though you can get like 35 in a pack for like 10, you can use this, dab it in there, brush the entirety of the piece like normal. When it dries, when it cures, when it's fully cured, you can just peel it right off of this. And I'll cut a video that'll be like a 3.5 for how to do that with this. So right now we got the resin, we got the catalyst over there. I'm gonna add that to it. And then the only reason I'm not gonna show me painting this with the resin is because there are a lot of videos out there that do that and they drag on. And right now I am by myself. So until I get the little tripod over Christmas or November, I'm hoping November, where I can film it and then just time lapse the footage. This will not be filmed of me painting this on. But for future projects, it will. In fact, it'll probably be cut up better than me just filming and doing this. Yay, progress. Also, make sure you're wearing ventilation. If you're wearing clothes, wear clothes you don't mind getting resin on. Because if you happen to spill it on you, it's kind of hard to get up. I mean, you can use acetone and stuff like that, but wear clothes you're ready to destroy, because I've had a lot of clothing that I've destroyed because I was too lazy to change, and now I have clothing that's already set aside for me to mess up. Also, for those who already know what this step is, you already know what this is. This is a colorant used, is a coloring agent used to color this blue. Why would you color it blue, you ask? Well, sometimes you need to go over one layer with just resin, and then you can do a second layer adding a little drop of this to it, which will tint this blue. I suggest tinting this the exact same time you add the catalyst. So you add this, then you add the catalyst, then you stir both together. It'll let you know when it's fully mixed, when it's all solid blue, and there's no like little chunks of anything. Then you can paint that over, and then the parts you missed from the first coat, you can get with blue. Or you can do it now like I'm gonna do, and make sure that every part you get is blue, so you know coverage-wise you've got it covered. It doesn't speed up curing to the best of my knowledge. This is a little additional one. You don't need this. You might be able to get away with artist paint or something like that. I haven't tried it yet. I'll look into it if someone asks me and cut a little video on that. But other than that, this is used to color this, so you know where you're painting this, because this comes off like a lighter brown, and sometimes when you want to do 2 layers, you're not sure if you hit one side with that. You just get this. I haven't gotten it in multiple colors because I don't need it in multiple. And this one lasts a pretty long time as long as you keep it in a cool, dry area like you do with all your catalysts and stuff. If it's humid, it will evaporate catalyst no matter where you have it. So right now, I got everything set up. I'm about to put on my gloves, put on some music. And the next video you see, other than me peeling resin off of this very easily, I'll be getting into the next stage for those who want to know how to slush the inside of their Pepakura. I'll be doing that with some casting resin. Don't worry, there'll be another video somewhere down the line where I put fiberglass in. But if you don't see that, I'll post a video in the description of another YouTuber who's not paying me to do this at all. A video that I would suggest that you watch on how to place fiberglass inside a Pepakura. So this is the third video of Pepakura, and so can you. Sorry for the delay in progress. I promise not to be lazy anymore, and I will get right through this. Hopefully this might be done by Halloween. Or not. It's a commission with no due date. For those who are doing commissions, get a due date so you know how much time you actually have. If they don't give you a due date and they ask you where it is, ta-da! I'm gonna start doing this now. Catch you later.